a long time smile, so.
You want me to run this side here? I gotta save this one.
Yeah, that's good. You want me to respond? Hey. Look it up, bro. Look it in. Right now. Look at this, bro. I used to always want to come here these days. Never got invited. I need my sponsors for my hands there. This is the shit food grandkids right here. It's the worst food grandkids right here, man.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go on the end right here.
Where my coach at? Don't mind if I do. I haven't had one of these in a while. Motherfucker, you always into a one round. I gotta go 5 motherfucking rounds every time. How you feel, man? Yeah, that was a wild fight, champ. Made your money tonight, bro. Let's go 1 round.
Hey, I'll teach you how to be a hard hitter.
Trying.
Work on that right
Yeah,
there.
learn that.
Hey.
Is that what it is? I'm gonna help you.
You ever seen Quagmire on Family Guy when he found out about doing that?
At least we got fight of the night.
Yeah. You guys get fight of the night or what? Good job, man. You guys look good. Y'all were shadowboxing each other for a while. Y'all just fucking threw more punches than y'all landed. I'm like, look at these little fucks, man. Great job, man. I remember I used to always want to come to these things, not a big game.
Where's caffeine in the month? I'll be bouncing up the walls.
Yo, Tito, can I have water over there?
Yep, sure.
Great night. Came back. Showing everybody what's up.
Yep, sure. They count me out, man. I ain't going anywhere.
Holding up that one and everything.
Yes, sir.
Doc believed in me. You did, brother.
Now can we go surfing? The work is over with for now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow. I'm gonna OD on gummy bears and Swedish fish. Yes. Where's my coach at? See, I can drink this now. I can drink this now. Some gobstoppers, maybe. Can they just get a vending machine in my room, Joe? Can we do that?
Write that in your next contract.
All right. 12,947 people. The gate was 2.3 million. The bonuses tonight were $75,000. Fight of the night, Cruz versus Faber. Submission of the night, Tito Ortiz. And knockout of the night, Carlos Condit. Who's first?
First question is for Dominick, over here to your left, or yeah, to your left. You came out a lot, you know, fighting kind of like you were the challenger. Did you feel that way a little bit going into this fight?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or feel at all that you had something to prove?
I felt like I needed to come out and win, and that's how I fought. I didn't feel like a challenger. I felt like I was fighting to win something brand new. That was about it.
Question for Tito. Tito, congratulations on the win. Obviously, it's been a long road for you. Were there ever any times when you found yourself doubting yourself and your ability to get back to this level?
Well, probably about 3.5 months ago, you know, it was really hard for me to get into my gym and train, you know, let alone just train. You know, when negativity brings you down, you got to find something to uplift you and make you stronger to get past those downlifts, you know, downfalls in life. You know, I went in it for 5 years. You know, a lot of personal stuff I've gone through at home. I have a great trainer, Jason Perillo, Mike Giovanni, Ricardo Abreu have supported me. There was 4 guys I trained with, and 3 of those guys I just said the names that pushed me during camp, and each week got better and better and better and better. All the people who follow me on Twitter that say, Tito, you can do this, you can do this. I was doing it to prevail. I wasn't doing it to prove anybody wrong. I was there to do it and prove everybody right, and that's what I did tonight.
Dana, first of all, I wonder if this is one of the better cards, in terms of all the knockouts and everything. Can you comment just on the card itself? The main event cap was really a pretty incredible evening.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've been on a very good streak lately. We were on a bad streak of injuries and been on a good streak lately with great fights. I love the last couple cards, and this one was dynamite. Great, like you said, finishes, and the main event was an awesome fight.
Yeah, that was MMA at its finest, I think. Can you comment, first of all, on the 2 veteran guys, Vanderlei and Tito, guys that they fought each other, 11 years ago or 10 years ago?
Right.
And now they're here tonight. It looks like maybe one career might have ended and the other guy's still going on. Can you comment on what they've meant to the sport of MMA and kind of where you see them right now?
Yeah, I agree. Tonight was one of those nights for both of these guys. Tonight was a night to win. Everybody knew that Tito had to win tonight to stay in the UFC, and he did it. He came out, and not only did he win the fight, he won the fight impressively. Dropping the younger, stronger, and who many people felt had better hands, dropping Bader, and then submitting him. And then as far as Vanderlei goes, I mean, I don't think there's anybody that I say this all the time. You can sit and break down fights and say, this fight should go like this fight should go like that. People knew that him and Leben were going to come out and they were going to throw until somebody fell down, and it was Vanderlei tonight. And he's just, people love him so much because of the way he fights and his style and the type of person he is. But yeah, probably the end of the road for Vanderlei.
Tito, if I can ask you, did it make it any sweeter not only to get the victory and save your job, but to A, do what you said you were going to do, and then B, kind of with the submission? You dominated a guy that was fighting for the right to fight for the title earlier this year.
Well, you got to understand, I'm healthy now. There's no more excuses. I've really put my time to this camp. I've gone through 2 major surgeries that have been my downfall through the last 6 years. And I've been trying to do as much work as I possibly can to get the win. And I came up short 5 times in a row. Split decisions, draws, decision. But I've stayed competitive against the top guys in the world. And I think Ryan kind of didn't respect me. For one camp, I've let my hands go. I got to thank Dana for giving me the opportunity to fight someone like Ryan. Joe Silva, same thing. And Lorenzo for giving this opportunity as a fighter to get in there and compete. I have the hunger to be at the top again. I did what Johnny Bones couldn't do, and that was finish Ryan Bader in the first round, and I did that. I'm healthy. I feel good. My mind's in a good place right now. Family's good. Everything's good around me. Now I just need to uplift myself and continue doing what I'm doing.
And then just for the main event guys, starting with you, Dominick, did you feel like that you guys set a pace, that this is going to be kind of like what we're going to see the next generation of MMA fights? It was such a fast-paced fight, back and forth with great scrambles and everything. Do you think this is kind of what the next level is going to be?
I think that, yes, it will be kind of the next level, but also, I think me and Urijah kind of set the bar for everything, for the 135ers especially. I mean, we had something to show everybody in the world today, that 135ers can headline a card, 145ers can headline a card, and it will be exciting. And, we can compete with, heavyweights, 170-pounders, everybody. We all train hard, we all work hard. Just because we're little guys doesn't mean we can't scrap.
I didn't hear the question, sorry.
Tito, down here to your right, congratulations on the victory. You mentioned that it's been 5 years since you sat up there and talked after a win. How long has it felt? Has it felt every day? Have you felt every day of those 5 years? I mean, has it felt like a long, long time since you've had your hand raised?
One fight I felt like I got ripped off, but hey, that's behind me now. I don't care. It is where it is. But it does eat at you. You got to have something to motivate you. You got to have something to uplift your spirits and feel that win. When you have confidence behind you, you're unstoppable. And you look at Johnny Bones Jones, and he's unstoppable because his confidence is through the roof. And you got to build those things. Of course, I haven't had easy fights to try to get those wins and get that confidence up, but I've been challenged. I've been challenged by Dana, I've been challenged by Lorenzo and Joe Silva to show the great fighter I truly am. And I think God gave me a gift. You know, I think there's an angel on my shoulder tonight. But I worked hard, you know. My training partners, my coaches, they pushed me hard. You know, when I was saying I couldn't go that 6th round, they're like, bullshit, Tito, you got it in you, push yourself. And physically, I'm able to do it now, thanks to Dr. William Smith out of here in Las Vegas, who did the surgeries on me. The surgeries I've gone through, athletes don't come back. They're done. Not me. I have too much drive. I have too much to live in this life, and I'm gonna live this life to the fullest. And tonight, it starts.
Can you just kind of talk about the fight, especially the series that led to the finish, you know, the right hand, and just talk what was going through your mind through that ordeal?
I had an out-of-body experience. I just kind of was watching myself do it. Everything was in slow-mo. It was kind of like in the Matrix. It was weird. It was really weird. For the first time, everything was super, super slow. He was punching. It was like block, block. I was like, oh, that was it? It was weird. He kicked and was like, oh, that was it? And Jason Perillo, my boxing coach, we've been working so much, and he's a small, he's like 140, but he's super fast. And I was getting used to his speed, so when I got in front of Bader, it was just like a big, slow guy in front of me, and it changed everything. Like I say, everything got slowed down, and I hit him with a shot, and I watched his knees buckle, and I was like, ooh, I got him hurt. Ground and pound, and Ricardo Brew, my jiu-jitsu coach, we worked a lot in the guillotine prior, and he shot in the shot, and a lot of wrestlers make the mistake of leaving their neck out, hanging out long, and he did, and I sunk the guillotine. All I thought in my mind was get my elbow down to the mat. Put my elbow to the mat, and I just squeezed. And I felt him pull his head out, and instead of pulling out away from it, I just crunched into it, and he tapped, and I didn't want to let go because I wasn't sure what was going on, because like I say, I had a out-of-body experience. I didn't know how to react. I was like, I'm not letting go until the referee rips me off, and it went. I mean, I don't mean to hold on to the submission more than it was supposed to, but I wasn't letting go. I wanted to win. I mean, I'm like an animal out there. I don't know, did I look like an animal? I think I did.
And Tito, you know how mixed martial arts is. As soon as you get the win, everybody wants to know what's next for you. Obviously, you want to enjoy this win, but when you look at what the next step is, I mean, how soon would you like to get back in there, and what are your immediate goals right now?
I'm healthy now. You know, I feel great. You know, once again, I'm going to leave my career in Dana's hands. You know, 14 years ago, or actually 13 years ago, when he came to my apartment and says, "Let me manage you. I'm going to take care of your career." I made some mistakes from now until then. And I had a lot of people in my ears who were saying some bad things, and I got lost. And I found myself. I kind of reinvented myself, and I went to Dana and I apologized for the things I said prior, and it's behind me now, and hopefully I could build that bridge back again where they put me on the pedestal where I need to be. I'm a UFC fighter. I've been fighting here for the last 14 years, and I've paved the way a lot of the road to this point, and thanks to Lorenzo Dana for giving this opportunity to compete. We got some of the greatest fighters standing up here who had some of the greatest knockouts, and I think one of the biggest pay-per-views that they've had all year and will have all year. Whoever they give me, man, I don't care. I'd like to see, you know, Forrest Griffin and the winner between him and Shogun. I don't know. I want to fight top guys. I want to fight guys with big names. I want to give the fans what they want to see, and that's been the biggest fights in the world. And tonight I made a stepping stone of Ryan Bader, and he said he was going to make a stepping stone to me, but he ain't stepping on this champ to make that champion. Hell no.
Hey, Tito, you want to applaud? Sorry. Tito, thanks for making my mom some money tonight.
I've made a lot of people money tonight. I was going to bet on myself, too, and I didn't. That's just superstitious, but I didn't. But thank you, Dana, for the submission of the night. That was worth the bet, I guess. I don't know. Now I could have that money and put away some money for my sons and maybe go gamble a little bit tonight. Because my luck's so damn good.
So, Dominick, Ariel and I had the pleasure of sitting very nearby Brandon Vera and Mark Munoz, who were dueling trash talking tonight. But Brandon Vera kept yelling, little guy. And we talked to him afterwards, and he said there's a special meaning behind it. And so I wanted to know if you could hear it, because he went hoarse after 5 rounds yelling, and he definitely wanted you to hear it. Can you tell us if you did and what it means?
I did hear little guy a couple times, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know it was Brandon, but I knew what that meant. So I was like, all right, when I'm in there, I'm just kind of listening to my cornerman the best that I can, and I'm just scrapping, trying to make adjustments. But I did hear that, and, little guy is just like something, anytime you hear it, it's Brandon's usually, in practice, and he'll just come walking in when I'm in the middle of sparring, because our big guys train a little bit later than the lighter weights. and you'll hear him yell, little guy, and it's when I'm sparring. That means, get on my toes, hop around, footwork, move. That's kind of like my rest, but at the same time I'm staying. It's like an active rest. It's just something we use in practice. I know what it means, and yeah, I did hear it. That's crazy. I don't know how far was he?
He was like the first level up.
Okay,
so.
there you go.
Dana, did Carlos Condit's knockout, did that show you what a welterweight contender should be doing and that he is the next guy in line?
Yeah, his earlier in the night, Joe and I were talking about all the knockouts that were happening. So we were thinking there wouldn't be a fight of the night. We were going to give all these guys bonuses for knockouts, and obviously when the main event happened, we changed our mind. And yeah, and but to be honest, of all the knockouts of the night, his was the most impressive by far. How easily he did it, how technical it was. He fought an incredible fight tonight. He's looked great in his last 2 showings, and yeah, he's proved himself to be one of the best 170 pounders in the world. And the obviously the guy that he beat tonight, undefeated in the UFC, he's been on a tear, and it was a big win for Carlos Condit tonight.
Yeah, my question's for Urijah. That was an amazing fight tonight. I know you're the type of guy that's probably going to be back in the gym tomorrow afternoon. What do you think worked for you tonight, and what do you think will be the first thing you'll work on when you get back to the gym?
I gotta watch the fight first off because you get really instinctual in there, so I can't really remember. And I mean, right after the fight, the doctor asked me how I feel, and I said I feel great. And now I feel like shit. So, you always have to take a look at the actual fight and see what happened. But things that worked for me, I think, we're both reaction fighters, and I was trying not to react too much to his movement, just kind of stalk him and take his best shot and land the heavier shots. And I know I landed some heavy shots in there, and I rocked him a couple times, and apparently it wasn't enough. So I'll have to see exactly what happened. I feel like he used the kicks quite a bit, but I was blocking a lot of them. Even the high kicks, not one connected, and then a couple connected on the low kicks. But I think the main factor must have been the amount of punches, because that's the only thing I can think of. We both fought a great fight. Congratulations to Dominick. I'm not an easy guy to beat. Joseph Benavidez is not an easy guy to beat. So, we got a good champ.
Nice. And for you, Chris, Dana has said that, it's probably the end of the road for Vanderlei. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that. I know you talked about how you admired him, his whole career, and so now I'm just curious how you feel about that.
Vanderlei Silva's my favorite fighter. Yeah, he always has been. I don't want to say, I said, I like it. I mean, to tell you the truth, I never visualized the fight going the way it went. I only visualized a 3-round war. And I've never been as scared going into the ring as the fight Vanderlei Silva. The man is a legend. What he's done for the sport is absolutely amazing. Right now, I just got to evaluate what happened. I'm still kind of like blown away, So, Vanderlei Silva, he can do whatever he wants, He's solid, But I hit him pretty damn hard. I mean, I don't think anybody would have stayed up. So, is what it is.
Dana in the back here on the left. Before the fight, all week some of the talk was about the WEC guys now headlining an event. How do you feel? And I'm guessing you feel pretty good because it's the fight of the night. But how these guys sort of lived up to the responsibility of a main event, and then moving forward, having those types of the former WEC guys headlining fights in the future.
Yeah, when the WEC was on Versus, I don't think there was ever any doubt that when these guys did make the transition to the UFC, and when we could open up those weight classes, that they would be very exciting and deliver. That they always have, even when they were in the WC and on Versus, we knew they'd deliver.
For Dominick, please, Dominick, in the back. I wanted to know how you felt after the fight. Obviously, Urijah said he was kind of confident, thought he had a chance in the decision. How confident were you? You thought for sure you did enough and we're going to get the decision?
By the end of the fight, man, you really don't know what happened. I can't remember really much of anything in that fight. Kind of like what he said, it's like you go in there and it's like a whirlwind. It feels like I was in a tornado, and I was running into stuff in it. Dressers and whatnot, I don't know. But Yeah, I mean, my shoulders hurt, my face hurts a little bit. I have no idea, man. I was just going out there to scrap, and all I knew was if I got hit, I was just going to keep punching, and there's no way to stop me. I mean, that's the only way you can think in there, and hopefully things work out. Either you knock them out, you put them to sleep, or you keep going. That's all I knew.
Then also for Chris, I guess it was quick enough. Can you just kind of walk us through the fight and what you were feeling out there?
Yeah, you know, when he had that amazing walkout, you know, it went black, and most of the time, most people are cheering for me, you know. That fired me up at first. I was like, what's up, man? This was my 19th fight in the UFC, and they went crazy for Wanderlei Silva, you know, and, you know, I knew that I got calm then, you know, and I knew that my coaches had done the work. You know, I'm just like I'm the car, and they're the pit crew. They put all the work and the time into me, and I couldn't let them down this time. So when the fight started, you know, he swung wide, and I knew I could come up the middle. We've been working a lot of uppercuts. We knew he comes a little bit wide, so bring him right up the middle, and that's what we did. I felt him wobble a little bit. I thought he was going to go down, but he started to recover, so I just continued to hit, and then continued to hit some more, and then I hit him some more, and that was it.
Chris, we saw you in Hawaii do the train for the Muay Thai clinch against Wanderlei. Did you expect him to run after you with the clinch that early?
Yeah, Wanderlei has an amazing clinch. We knew that, so we definitely were working, keeping the shoulders up, keeping the head up, you know, and throwing those uppercuts in there, you know, so I was ready for that, you know, and I truly believe that Wanderlei hasn't fought that many guys that when they get hit, move forward, you know, and the mistake that he made was he hit me real hard right off the bat, you know, and that's what turns my switch on, you know, because when he hit me, I didn't go backwards. I came straight at him, you know, and I knew that that's where my shots were gonna come. For me, that's the kind of matchup I like, you know. A guy that moves around on the outside real well may make it a little bit harder for me, but you know, Wanderlei came forward and he hit me, I hit him, and we know what happened after that.
And today, did Chris earn a bonus for the knockout?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So next question is your fight against Akiyama. You bought a huge truck and you thanked Akiyama for the fight. What are you gonna do with the bonus this time?
Oh man, I didn't get one, dog.
Oh, you didn't?
No, you know what, Daddy Dana always takes care of me. I love him, man. I love him.
No truck this time.
Girl.
Yeah, last question to Urijah and Dominick. Yeah, is the feud between you guys over, the trash talk?
Yeah, I think so. We may fight again, you know, but, you know, I was just having fun with that. You know, it's not every day I get an enemy, so I was kind of taking advantage of that.
So Dominick is an alpha male in the neighborhood?
I got to watch the fight. In the judge's mind today, they say so, but there's other things that go into that as well.
Just like talking shit to each other. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I'm a trash talker in the first place. I mean, it's like, you know, I respect all the fighters out there, but even my best friends know I'm kind of a jerk sometimes. So it was fun. It was fun to talk trash, and you know, sometimes it's easy to talk trash about a guy like Urijah. So, you know, but I have nothing but respect for the guy. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's business when we're in there. The guy's done so much for the lighter weight classes. You can't deny that. I had to really hype myself up for this fight. And, you know, I wanted this fight for 4 years. I've been hungry for this fight, sweating for this fight, bleeding for this fight. And I got it. I won it. I'm happy.
Dana, can you give us your thoughts on the judge's decision in the main event? And now that it's 1-1, does it warrant, or can we put on a third fight?
Yeah, well, at the end of that fight, the first thing I said is I wouldn't want to score that fight. It was a very good fight, back and forth, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, third fights are always fun, especially when they're as good as that one was. It was a great fight, very technical fight, and like Ioli said, I agree. It was MMA at its finest tonight. That was an incredible fight.
I think we're moments away from Melvin probably going on another verbal tirade about the lightweight division, but can you talk about Melvin first and that performance
Yeah, I know,
that
he
he
calls
put on?
himself the silent assassin. When has he ever been silent about anything? No, I'm actually, you know, I've known Melvin for a long time, since The Ultimate Fighter, and I always thought that he was a very talented guy and just never lived up to his potential. You know, was out there, you know, not doing all the right things to become the great fighter that he had the potential to be, and now he has. You know, and it's good to see him living up to the potential. No doubt about it. He's fast. He's explosive. He's talented. He's got great wrestling. He's got dynamite in both hands. He can kick. He can move. He's a scary 155-pounder.
And Melvin, for yourself, a lot of us in the media have been saying it for a while. It's always been, when is Melvin, you know, which Melvin's going to show up on fight night? And again, you showed up with an incredible performance. Can you talk about the evolution of your career? And it's like you get it now. This is what you need to do?
Just had to grow up, man. Like Dana said, you know, when he first met me at Ultimate Fighter, I was just a young kid, and I've grown with this business for the last 6 years, and it's been great. And I've had a lot of downtime. A lot of people stuck in my corner, you know, Mr. Joe Silva, Dana himself, Mr. Lorenzo. And I always go back and think about when Dana told me, kid, get your shit together, you can be great. What I did, I put myself in rehab, I got my shit together. You know, I got a beautiful wife. I'm more of a family man now. I'm not hanging out in the streets. I play more golf in the daytime than I see nightlife now, you know, and it wasn't like that. I was always in the clubs. I don't even go out anymore. You know, I go to dinner with the wife and I do movies. You know, I'm doing the family things, minus the kids though, minus the kids, no kids, all right? But, you know, it's a great feeling, but, you know, it's great to be a part of something like this, man. The UFC is by far the biggest sport in the world to me, and I'm happy to be a part of this. And I always tell myself, I would hate for a kid to walk up to me and say, hey, when's your next UFC fight? And I'm no longer in the UFC. So that's why I work so hard to fight to stay in. I'm in. Nobody's going to take my position. And I'm going to just keep knocking guys out until I get a title shot. Right now, I want to fight Jim Miller. But if I don't have Jim Miller, you know, I need another fight. So, Denis, if you want to do it again, bro, I know in the past you wanted to call me out again, so we can get it on again if you want. You know what I mean? I'm here to fight, man. And nobody's going to beat me. I will be number one, I promise.
Question for Dominick and Urijah, right here. Any hand injuries for either one of you guys?
I don't know. I actually had a hand injury before, you know, and Dominick knew that because Zuffa, for some reason, put us in like a team building like thing with the Marines, and I actually had a broken hand at the time, a hairline fracture. So I think that's bugging me a little bit, and I jammed 2 fingers, but I don't think it's anything serious.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome doing the thing that we did together. It was just weird timing was the retarded thing about it, you know. And on top of that, we were getting ready for the title fight, and we were climbing ropes, climbing under barbed wire. I remember I ate it on top of some barbed wire, and like I was like, "Is this seriously going on right now?" Like, and I'm running for my life with smoke bombs going off and drill sergeants cussing at me. But that's a whole nother story. But my hands are good. They're sore. I mean, they always hurt after a fight like that, you know. I mean, I punched a lot. I threw a lot of punches, and, you know, I hit Urijah in the face a little bit, so they hurt, but they're good.
Just a couple quick questions for Dana. Dana, did you speak to Wanderlei after the fight?
No, I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him.
And lastly, did you what did you think of the Wyman scoring, and did you feel like that was just?
Yeah, that was again, when you talk about scoring in a fight like that, I think, you know, at the end of the first round, you guys are going to laugh at this one, but me, Lorenzo, and Justin Bieber had scored that fight. And, you know, it's one of those, I think that I actually had him winning the fight. So I think I gave him the first and third, and there's no doubt who won the second round. And I think it's a little tough. Again, I'd have to go back and watch it, but I think Bieber and Lorenzo had it going the other way. So it's one of those fights that's tough to score.
Dana, can you tell us what Justin Bieber thought about the main event? No, I'm just kidding. You know, hey, listen, when you talk about Wanderlei Silva and saying that you think this is the end of the line, is this one of those ones that you're just saying, well, he's probably going to make that decision, or is that one of those ones where you have to have those heart-to-hearts?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where I'd like to sit down and talk to him and, kind of Chuck Liddell him into it. I think that, the guy has nothing left to prove. He's a warrior. People love him all over the world, and I just don't want to see him, that happen to him anymore.
And did you happen to get an update on Brian Bowles? I know there's some concern about his hand. Do you know what's going on with his status?
Yeah, I'm thinking the only people that went to the hospital were Roller and Kim, so he must be okay.
Must be okay.
And nothing, yeah, and they were taken to the hospital, but nothing serious.
Does he seem like to be the next in line, or has that decision been made yet?
Oh, Joe, what do you think? What'd you ask him?
If Bowles would be next in line or for a shot? Could be Demetrius Johnson as well. Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, they do this to me every press conference. They want me to make the whole next card,
Thanks. Dominick, obviously the crowd was not on your side tonight. Big time favorite crowd. Do you feel like this is the type of fight that maybe might get a little fan support behind you, or are you kind of enjoying the role of being a little bit of a villain?
I mean, I'm not trying to be a villain. I'm just being me, and I'm just scrapping, I can't control the crowd, but you got to figure out a way to make it work for you. I can't remember the last time I got cheered for coming out for a fight, so I just go with it, It hypes me up, If you love me or hate me, it hypes me up. I mean, if you're going to cheer for me, sweet. If you're going to boo for me, you're just going to make me want to prove you wrong.
So thank you. And finally for Melvin, do you have any idea of how far you think you are, maybe not fight-wise, but development-wise from a title shot? I mean, you say you want to be the best. Do you feel like you're fighting at a championship level right now?
I am the best 155er. I'm a finisher. I got no disrespect to Frankie Edgar, Gray, but it proved it in the last fight when they fought each other. Gray had him on his heels and didn't finish. I'm a finisher, man. I go in for the kill. I smell blood. I guess you could say I've been through so much in my life. Getting in the cage and swinging hands and putting people away, that's easy for me, Growing up with a mother that was a Baptist minister who whipped me all the time, and that's the stuff I'm afraid of, you know what I mean? So I can get in there and throw hands with anybody, It's just all about the organization and the bosses giving me my opportunity. But in the meantime, I will say this. I'm going back to Albuquerque this week, going back to camp. I want to fight in Houston. If I don't get that fight, it's okay. But I'm training for it. And the more I train, the better I get. And the more I have Dr. Tripp, my judo coach, I have Winkle John, I have Greg, and all my teammates, including Carlos Condit, who knocked the guy out tonight. I have everything around me is working. And the more it takes for them to give me a title, the more I feel bad for the guy I fight for the title.
And you threw out a couple names, but I've seen on the internet a couple people saying, "Hey, a fight with Clay Guida would be pretty special." But obviously, he's your teammate. Is that something you would consider?
The only way I'll fight a teammate is if it's for the title. Because at the end of the day, we all have this understanding. I'm not going to fight my teammate for nothing when there's all these 55ers. That just don't make sense to me. But we all in here for one thing. I want to have a kid one day, and I tell my kid, "Oh well, your dad would have been a great champion, but I let Clay Guida have my spot." I can't live like that. That'll ruin my legacy. So we all here for one reason. It's business. I'll fight my brother for that UFC title. I'll fight my mother for that UFC title. I'm serious, dude. Like, I mean that, and that's from the heart, man. So when that time comes and I have to fight a teammate, we have to sort out how we're going to do the training camps. But may the best man win. I will be the better man that day.
All the way back up here at the top. You got two questions, one for Carlos and one for Tito. Carlos, you said you feel like you're next in line after Nick Diaz. Are you willing to wait 8-9 months, or do you want to get back in there?
Yeah, that's a bit of a dilemma. I do want to fight again in 2011, and I know that the time frame may not work out for me to get the next shot. So I want to fight again before the end of the year. So I don't know.
Tito, you haven't won in 5 years. Congratulations. You got a submission. There were some people here in the media cheering for you when you won. Some people didn't even know what you were doing, the gravedigger thing. They didn't even know what that was. Haven't seen it in a while. Not to diss you, but I'm just saying.
No. You can understand. I mean, I was at the Ultimate Fighter on Thursday. They got a great team, and there's some tough kids in there. And I was showing them some ground and pound stuff, and one of the kids was like, "Tito, man, I've been watching you since like junior high school." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks for dating me." And he's like, "Will you do that gravedigger thing again?" I was like, "I can't, man." And they were begging me, like, "Please, please, please, please." I can't do it. I gotta wait until Saturday before I do it. And they looked at me. They go, "You think so?" I go, "I guarantee it." And you'll watch the Ultimate Fighter and you'll see the whole situation goes down. I wouldn't do it. The only time I do it was when I win. It's been a long time for me. I dreamt about that. The whole match, everything. I already replayed it in my head over and over again. So when it happened, it was just second since it was happening. And then I was having an out-of-body experience, and I was like, wow, look at myself. And when I raised my hand, I looked and he said, Tito Ortiz, the winner, and I had my hands up. After every training session, I had my hands up because I knew in my mind the positive reinforcement knowing that I was going to win. And I dreamt it. I lived it. Now I got it.
Where do you rank yourself right now?
Where do I rank myself? Rankings don't mean shit. What it means? Cheers. Joe Silva. Oh, cheers? Or you said? Cheers to that. Oh, yeah, no. What really means the most in ranking anything is Joe Silva giving me great fights and making sure I get those great fights with my hand raised. That's what matters. Rankings don't mean shit at all, as I proved tonight.
Tito, if I could ask you, you're kind of like the last man standing after Chuck retired last year, and then Randy earlier this year, and I guess apparently Vanderlei tonight. And I wonder if you can comment on, Vanderlei, another legendary fighter who you fought in an epic fight many years ago. Kind of, is it going to be different without all those, peers of yours now still hanging around?
Well, you got to understand, I've took my career very smart. I mean, fans say, oh, Tito's a ground and pound guy. Yeah, because I don't want to get punched in the face. Yeah. You show a guy that likes to get punched in the face, I'll show you a stupid guy. Yeah, it's awesome for the fans to see someone get knocked out, and I don't want to get knocked out. I like having a great conversation with people where they understand what I'm talking about, and I'm not slurring my words and things like that. But you gotta understand, this is hand-to-hand combat. You see boxers dying, they have an average of 2 to 3 deaths a year. UFC has never had a death to this date because, us fighters, we intelligently defend ourselves at all time. And, just the brain damage that happens from getting blows. I'm not that type of guy. I'm going to shoot on you. You hit me, I'm going to shoot. I'm shooting. That's an automatic. I mean, I guarantee it. I'm a smart man. I don't want to get punched in the face. But, I look at the guys who are retired now, Chuck, after his last loss, and Dana could say if I did or not, I text him saying, is Chuck okay? Chuck was my friend, man. All they want to sell the fight as much as possible. At the end of the day, Chuck was my friend. And that's the way I've always thought of it. Randy, I almost cried when I see him lose the way he did. I've looked up to Randy my whole career. Me and him fought on the same night, UFC 13, and see it happen. When I seen Vanderlei get knocked out tonight, I was just like, wow. But then I look at it and look at my age. I just turned 36. Chuck was in his prime at 36. He was knocking people out left and right. Randy was in his prime at 36, dominating people. I'm still young. I got in the game when I was young. I never fought anywhere else. I fought in UFC since the beginning of I was an amateur fighting UFC. I fought for free. But I kind of reinvented myself, I think. But the most thing behind all of it is being injury-free. Back surgery, neck surgery were the main #1 things that I've recovered from. And I made that goal happen with hard work and dedication to keep my mind strong.
Dana, the other day you and Tito seemed to have something going on. What was going on there, and can you explain to us sort of what the heated words were about?
Typical Dana Tito shit.
Anything specific, Dana Tito shit?
No. Same old stuff with Dana and Tito.
It's like a girlfriend and boyfriend thing, of course.
Well, Tito, what was it? You tell us.
It was... He always tries to test me. Every one of my fights, he always wants to test me. But I guess it's a test, it's a challenge. And I prevailed, which is awesome. And I thank Dana, like I said, I thank him for challenging me and for making me prevail tonight. It was him that helped me a lot.
Thank you. And then Dana, last thing, was it difficult to give him the bonus? I mean, given the feelings between you guys?
No, the stuff with me and Tito is true. It's over. And you know me. I'd say it if it wasn't. But Tito and I Tito and I are those type of people and both have the personalities that we're always going to be arguing with each other and
not anymore, Dana. Come on, dude. Come on, those people are not going to do it no more.
I'd say no if it didn't happen on Thursday. I'd say, yeah, we probably won't anymore. But, and I literally, I mean it when I say I have no hard feelings toward Tito. None.
For Denis, over here. not like you can. Yeah. Do you think you won and why?
Ja, ich glaube schon, dass ich gewonnen habe. Vor allem die erste und die letzte Runde. Die zweite habe ich vielleicht abgegeben, aber die ersten und die letzte waren meine.
I think I won in any case. The first and the last I win in any case, and the second I lose.
You're obviously coming off a huge win over George Sotiropoulos in Australia, and in this one, it's a little controversial. He thought that he won the fight. Do you feel, that it's not the same type of feeling, coming off of the other when you stop Sotiropoulos? Now this one's a little more disputed. Do you still have that same sort of sense of accomplishment after this win?
Es geht also darum, I have to translate. Es geht also darum, dass dieses Mal, dass ein anderer Sieg war, eigentlich irgendwie halt wie beim Sotiropoulos. Beim Sotiropoulos war das irgendwie eine klare Geschichte. Okay. Ja? Siehst du das genauso, dass da schon Unterschiede jetzt waren irgendwie halt? Oder?
Das ist knapper war, oder was? Dass der Kampf knapper war, oder?
Ja, knapper halt, das ist...
Okay. Ja gut, der Matt Weimann war ja ein ganz anderer Typ des Kämpfers. Deshalb war der Kampf auch ein bisschen anders. Und ja, ich sehe mich als Sieger, deshalb kann ich jetzt die beiden Kämpfe überhaupt nicht vergleichen. Ich meine, er hat mich ja immer noch versucht, zu Boden zu nehmen, aber es hat halt schlecht geklappt. Und ich habe mein Spiel einfach durchsetzen können, was mich auch freut.
Matt Wyman is another kind of fighter, yeah, and you can't compare both fight. Sotiropoulos tried to get me all the way in Australia down to the ground, and he didn't manage it. But this man, Matt Wyman, is another kind of fighter. Yeah, he was better. It's harder to fight against him.
Just one last quick one. Melvin said he would be interested in fighting you again. Is that the fight that interests you, or is there someone else on your mind? Next.
Ja, natürlich, auf jeden Fall. Ich habe ja schon vor langer Zeit gesagt, ich würde gern gegen die Leute kämpfen, gegen die ich schon mal verloren habe. Und das wäre ein sehr interessanter Kampf für mich.
Yes, in any case, long time before I said I want to fight these guys I lost. And so it would be very, very interesting to fight Melvin.
It wouldn't be a good night. I'll just have to put you to sleep again, I promise.
We will see that in the ring.
We can do it in Houston if you want. We can fly you back over. I want to fight in front of my mom, dude. I want to fight in front of my mom, no matter what. I don't care who it is. I'll fight anybody in front of my mom. So if you want to take the other L, man.
I think he does it also.
We can fight for each other purse too. I put it that much on the line. I will not lose.
All right, next question. Next question.
Okay, related note, Dana, first for Dennis, but also for you. Dennis, als Matt Wyman einfach aus dem Käfig rausgelaufen ist, hat dich das irgendwie gestört? Hast du das als unprofessionell empfunden? Dennis, when Matt Wyman left the cage just like that, did you consider that unprofessional, disrespectful?
Ja, ehrlich gesagt habe ich das gar nicht gemerkt. Aber gut, ist ja seine Entscheidung, der hat vielleicht das anders gesehen. Aber wie ich schon gesagt habe, ich sehe mich als Sieger in dem Kampf. Deshalb ist das sein Problem, wie er sich verhalten hat.
He didn't notice that, and I don't care about that, and it's his problem, not mine.
Dana, same thing for you. Is it acceptable for a fighter to just storm out of the cage, out of the building after a fight?
Yeah,
that he lost?
it is. I'm not going to make these guys stay in there and do an interview when they just lost, and he felt like he won and he was upset. I don't think it's. We've seen it with lots of guys. Saw Forrest Griffin run out of there. Sean Shirk ran out of the ring and ran down the strip, barefoot and no shirt. I shit you not, that happened. I think that when you lose, people don't realize how hard these guys work and how much they put into a fight, and sometimes it affects different guys when they lose differently. I don't ever hold that against them.
This is a question for Chris. What's up, Coach? Hey, last year you had a 14-day turnaround. I know you're going to step off that Dolce diet to binge on a pizza and candy.
Sir.
And when do you want to fight next, or when will you be ready? If Mr. Silva has somebody fall off of that Houston card, will you be ready? Or?
For me to be able to fight and be healthy, I'm so happy right now, and you know, I know my camp is behind me, and if they want me to do it, we'll do it. You know, we'll get everybody back out in Hawaii, and we'll get back to work. You know, I mean, why not? I'm on a roll.
Thanks, Coach. And a question for Mr. Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, you got the guys on the 01ers on the UG going nuts. Anything you want to say to all the fans on the UG?
Thanks for the support, you know. I proved everyone right that supported me. And haters, keep hating. It is what it is, man. I've had a lot of support for this one. It's been awesome, you know, that so many people doubted me. And I looked at the betting lines, minus 400? 550. Jeez. Come on. Are you kidding me? Look at the guys I've competed against, or plus. I mean, I was thinking of Ryan, but it's behind him now. I'm happy, man. I love this feeling. This feeling feels great. I've been dying for this feeling. You know, from a young punk kid who was on the streets who didn't have shit, had no one behind him. And once again, I was in that same situation. I had no one behind me besides my training partners who said, Tito, you couldn't do it. I'm living the American dream, man. Thanks to Lorenzo and Dana for giving me this opportunity as a fighter to get in here and fight my ass off. I could provide for my family. I could give my kids what my father never gave to me. And it's through hard work and dedication to being a good dad. And that's what I'm doing. As a fighter, as a father, as a businessman, I'm going to continue thriving. And all of these fighters up here, man, you got to give your hands to every one of them because we put on an awesome show tonight. Thanks to the MGM. You know, our pay-per-view numbers hopefully are soaring better than they did last year. We put on a show tonight. All of us paid, man. All of us came out. We banged. We put on a show. We put on some knockout submission and an awesome fight of the night. Every one of us, man. Joe Silva put a great card together, and we came out banging. We came on, like I said, fireworks are going to be early this year. It was on July 2nd.
One more question.
Dana, and this is for a little bit also for Urijah and Dominick. Did you guys feel any kind of a backlash going in as far as like, I mean, I saw some people go, oh, 135-pounder shouldn't be in the main event, and do you feel that, did you ever see that was any kind of a thing, and do you feel that you shut people up who may have said that with this fight tonight?
You talking to me, Dave?
Well, you and the guys too.
Yeah, the way that we have always treated that's the way that people felt about the 155-pound division once. And look at BJ Penn, he became a huge star, and the 55-pound division is one of the most exciting divisions in the sport. You know, when we talk about the WEC and the this and that, these guys, the way that we did the WEC, the lighter weights were there because we didn't have the room for the UFC. These guys belong here. And no matter how big the star power is on the undercard, these guys are fighting for the title. They deserve the respect to be number one. And tonight they went out and earned it. They've done it a million times before, but tonight everybody really saw it. Tonight was a big night here in Las Vegas. Tons of stars and, you know, our big 4th of July fight. And they went out and showed the world what we already knew.
I didn't hear anything about it. I mean, I feel like I have a pretty big fan base. You know, if you look at, you know, some of the top stars in our sport, you know, I'm up there as far as, you know, the social networking and you know, been on some big campaigns. So I haven't felt any of that. Maybe that's just me living in my own world, but it's all good. It's fun here.
I mean, I didn't notice too much. To be honest, I looked at this as an opportunity just to be out there, you know? I mean, I'm kind of the opposite of Faber. I don't have the hugest fan base in the world. So I'm trying to grow it, you know? And this was a way to do it, and this was a way to show people what not only 135-pounders can do, but what I can do, you know? I deserve to have that title, and I've trained really, really hard to have it and now to keep it for a while. So I'm proud of what I've done. And I'm going to keep going out there trying to kill people.
Is there anyone else, like, you know, you beat with Urijah, is there anyone that you're looking at now when you look at the rest of the guys that you might want to fight next?
I mean, you hear it all the time, but I'm here to fight the best guys in the world. You know, Urijah came out and, you know, he came out to fight, and that's what I wanted. I look forward to these wars, you know. This is how I learn about myself. This is how I find out what I'm made of. And that's what I'm in this for. I want to see what I got, you know? And I proved it tonight. I proved a lot to myself. I proved a lot to the fans around the world. and I'll take anybody who's next. Whoever Dana White and the guys think are next in line, let's do this. I'm down.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your support.